Step up, gents. The one and only.
Now, Monty, don't, please.
Oh, it's all right. This little pretzel doesn't understand a word of English.
No?
Gretchen!
Yeah!
20 weird facts about Hell's Angels you didn't know. Before we begin, understand this. Hell's Angels is not a war movie. It's a film about obsession, spectacle, and how technology turned death into entertainment. This is a story about ambition without limits, cinema without safety nets, and how Hollywood learned that realism has a price. Let's begin. Fact 1. Hell's Angels was born from obsession, not story. The script came last. The spectacle came first. Howard Hughes didn't start with characters, he started with planes. He wanted the most realistic aerial combat ever filmed. No miniatures, no tricks, no shortcuts. Story existed only to connect dogfights. Cinema was secondary. Reality was the goal. Fact 2. The film nearly bankrupted its own studio. Hell's Angels became one of the most expensive films of its era. Budgets were ignored, schedules were meaningless, scenes were reshot endlessly. Howard Hughes kept rebuilding sequences, sometimes just to adjust cloud placement. Money didn't matter. Perfection did. By the time filming ended, the cost was astronomical and completely unprecedented. Fact 3. Real pilots were used instead of actors. Actors were not trusted in the air, so Hughes hired real stunt pilots, many of them former military flyers. They performed actual mid-air maneuvers, actual spins, actual crashes. No green screens, no safety harnesses. When planes collided, it wasn't choreography, it was physics. Fact 4. The film's darkest truth. Hell's Angels cost lives. Several pilots were killed filming aerial sequences. Others were seriously injured. Production did not stop. The cameras kept rolling. The film blurred the line between documenting danger and causing it. Cinema was no longer observing risk, it was manufacturing it. Fact 5. The film turned war into a visual spectacle. Hell's Angels doesn't reflect on war, it displays it. Dogfights are beautiful, explosions are elegant, death is distant. The film unintentionally reveals something disturbing. When violence is seen from far enough away, it becomes entertainment. This wasn't propaganda, it was aesthetic fascination. Fact 6. The film was originally silent and then became obsolete. Hell's Angels was planned as a silent film. Halfway through production, sound cinema took over Hollywood. Suddenly, the movie was outdated before it even finished. Howard Hughes panicked. Entire sections had to be reworked, scenes reshot, dialogue rewritten. What had already cost millions now needed more. Cinema had changed, and Hell's Angels had to chase it. Fact 7. The lead actor was fired because of his voice. This was brutal. The original lead, silent film star Ben Lyon, looked perfect, but when sound was added, his voice didn't work. He was removed, scenes were scrapped, continuity collapsed. The film didn't care about loyalty, only results. Hollywood had officially entered an era where voices mattered more than faces. Fact 8. Jean Harlow was dubbed and rebuilt as a star. Jean Harlow wasn't famous when filming began. She was inexperienced. Her accent didn't fit. Her dialogue was weak. So Hughes did something radical. He redubbed her voice, reshot her scenes, reframed her image. The film didn't just include Harlow, it manufactured her. Hell's Angels accidentally launched one of Hollywood's biggest stars through correction, not performance. Fact 9. Aerial realism became recklessness. As reshoots increased, danger escalated. Pilots flew lower, maneuvers became riskier, weather warnings were ignored. Why? Because realism had to look real. Howard Hughes believed authenticity justified danger. The line between filmmaking and recklessness disappeared. The sky became a set. Lives became expendable. Fact 10. Howard Hughes personally risked his life. Howard didn't just direct danger, he entered it. He piloted planes himself. He flew through explosions. He insisted on controlling shots firsthand. This wasn't courage, it was control. Howard trusted no one with his vision, not even professionals. The film became an extension of his ego. An ego does not calculate risk. Fact 11. The film redefined what realism meant in cinema. After Hell's Angels, realism no longer meant convincing. It meant actual. Real explosions, real aircraft, real danger. Hollywood learned the wrong lesson. Instead of asking, should we? Studios asked, how far can we push this? Spectacle became currency. Safety became negotiable. Fact 12. Audiences were stunned, not moved. Viewers were amazed, but not emotionally changed. The aerial battles were breathtaking, yet the characters felt distant. Why? Because spectacle overwhelmed humanity. People remembered the planes. They forgot the people inside them. The film proved a harsh truth. Visual awe can drown out meaning. Fact 13. War became a playground for technology. Hell's Angels didn't explore war, it displayed machinery. The enemy was abstract. Death was distant. Destruction was beautiful. The film unintentionally shifted war cinema away from morality and toward mechanics. War wasn't questioned, it was choreographed. Fact 15. Howard Hughes was celebrated, not questioned. Despite deaths, injuries, and excess, Hughes was praised as a visionary, as a genius, as a perfectionist. Hollywood rewarded results, not responsibility. No inquiry, no accountability, no pause. Success erased consequence. Fact 16. The film normalized risk as part of filmmaking. Danger became romantic. Stories of risk became selling points. If it was dangerous, it must be authentic. That mentality spread and stayed. Hell's Angels didn't just make a movie, it set a precedent. Fact 16. The film accidentally proved spectacle isn't enough. Hell's Angels succeeded visually, but something was missing. Audiences talked about the stunts, not the story. The planes, not the people. The danger, not the meaning. The film demonstrated a quiet truth Hollywood didn't want to hear. You can risk everything and still say very little. Fact 17. It changed Hollywood's ethics without admitting it. No rules were rewritten after Hell's Angels. No safety codes tightened. No moral reckoning followed. But filmmakers learned something dangerous. If the result is impressive enough, the process will be forgiven. That lesson echoed for decades. Fact 18. War was reduced to engineering. Hell's Angels didn't examine war's cost. It showcased war's machinery. Engines roared louder than conscience. Explosions replaced reflection. Precision replaced pain. The film helped detach war from humanity, turning it into an aesthetic experience. And that detachment lingered. Fact 19. Howard Hughes paid the price later. Hughes won the battle, but not the war. His obsession with control, risk, and perfection never left him. It followed him into later projects and into his private life. Hell's Angels wasn't just a film, it was a blueprint for a life lived without limits. And limits, when ignored long enough, always collect their debt. Fact 20. The final truth: Hell's Angels is about obsession, not war. This is the most important fact of all. Hell's Angels isn't really about World War I. It's about obsession disguised as ambition, danger mistaken for authenticity, spectacle replacing responsibility. The film doesn't ask why war happens, it asks how big it can look, and that question changed cinema forever. Hell's Angels didn't whisper, it roared. But when the noise fades, what remains isn't heroism, it's absence. No grief, no reflection, no reckoning. Just the echo of engines and the cost of ignoring what they drowned out. If this documentary made you rethink groundbreaking cinema, if it made spectacle feel less impressive, if it left you uneasy instead of amazed, subscribe for more deep dive film documentaries that examine what movies achieve and what they erase. Because sometimes the most influential films aren't the ones that say the most. They're the ones that distract us from asking anything at all.